It's that time of day again. Happy hump day, everyone, and welcome to another episode, Dromedary Behind the Hump. Today I'm just walking up to our mobile milking system, and I want to show you how does a milking system actually work. So how do you actually get milk out of a system, and why do you milk them like that? Why don't you milk them by hand? A lot of traditional milking systems, of course, when they started in the day, like they're all telling me, yeah, I've milked camels, or I've milked a cow, I've milked, they all milked it themselves by hand. First of all, to have a clean product, and we've got the license for human consumption, you need a system that has everything from the udder or from the animal to the finished product in an enclosed system, just to be clean, just to prevent dirt from getting in there. So if you have a bucket open in the air, flies, dirt, dust, whatever falls down from the animal, that's never going to happen. So all the modern, normal commercial dairies these days, they have an enclosed system. So I'm inside our mobile system, which is obviously very unique to our operation. So this is a trailer that we can pull along, and now we don't have the tractor in front, but you see it got tires on each side, and they can be lifted up with a hydraulic ram. And so when we have a tractor in front, it can then take this out to the camels. But it's parked up here now near the sheds, where it's connected to power, and we can connect it to water to run the washing cycle. So I'll just quickly explain, based on one station, we've got 6 in here, how it all works. So first of all, camels have 4 teats. So the cluster, this is the milking cluster, has 4 cups. So you've got a metal cup, and on the inside here, where my finger is where the teat of the animal goes. And it's really soft rubber in there, or you can get silicone depending on your what we call rubber liners. So that is the contact between the machine and the animal, and we've got 4 on those clusters. If I hold it like this, maybe you can see it, because the camel got 4 teats. If you would milk a goat, it would have only 2, because they only have 2 teats. So then I'll just put it on here. The machine is not running. If the machine would be running, this cylinder pulls up the rope and it hangs here like that. Right, I'll show you that one day when it's all running, but now I thought it's quiet, I've got time, I can quickly explain it to you. We've got these buttons here, like a buzzer. They're a milk flow meter, and at the same time, they release the vacuum. So the cluster is hanging here, we've got the animal in, we put the baby on from the outside to suckle, which is obviously what you need to do for camels in particular, to let down the milk. Once the milk let down happens, I'm pressing this button to release the cluster, and then I put it onto the cup. From here, I shouldn't do that. It's hard to do it one-handed. From here, the milk has a suction, 2 vacuum hoses to put a suction onto the teats to suck out the milk. So this goes through these 2 smaller hoses. The other bigger hose is where the actual milk flows, and it flows all the way into this milk flow meter, and then out again to the top, and then into this stainless steel tube. This is called a high-line milking parlor. So you see from the other side, there's another one, then you just keep going. There's 2 more milking points, right, left, comes in all the way to the end. Then it goes into a big hose across to the milk trailer. And I'll just open the door for you. I hope you can see it, it's not too dark. So then it goes into what we call a receiving jar. And if we had enough milk, it would go into a big storage tank here as well. But because often we only have, smaller groups of animals, and we only milk once a day, often that smaller tank is enough for us to just keep the milk. But that's hopefully going to change as we're growing. So on the front here, and you know, this is our mobile milk room. It's all the same whether you milk in a commercial shed. Ours is just on wheels technically. Up the front here we've got a cool compressor and a vacuum pump, and the vacuum pump is, as I said, creating the suction for the entire system and putting, so one of these, the bottom one is the milk line, and then the other one is the vacuum line that creates all the suction to bring the milk from the animal to the tank. And then there's a thing called a pulsator that sits up here. Up here we've got a computer and a pulsator. Oh, hang on, I have to hold this camera better. And what it does is, and I have to show you that once we're actually milking, it makes like a rhythm technically, which mimics the suckling of the baby. So it's slightly different settings for a camel than for a cow. It's faster in sheep. I don't know exactly how fast, but yeah, it basically mimics that. And on these rubber liners, you can feel the pulsation, like yeah, it basically mimics how the baby would suckle. So once we're finished milking, you need to clean the whole thing. I said it's all human consumption, and milk you don't want to have in there when it's not working. So we've got these stations that you can fold out on each side, which is absolute standard for a milking system. And I'm trying to do this one-handed. I'll just show you. So there's these little jets, and I can push one over like this and on, and then you just put them all on. It's really hard to do it one-handed. So like this. So, but you get the idea. So then this thing would sit on there, and then it runs a washing cycle, which means at the back of the trailer we suck in water and it flushes the whole thing. Then it runs the whole water with detergent, cleans it again, and then a third time. So it runs it 3 times with hot water to keep it all nice and clean and flushed out. And then we suck all the water out of it, and that's it. And then it sits here, like you can see it now, ready to be used tomorrow morning. So this is a short run through on how a milking system in general works. Ours is just on wheels, with the great advantage that we decentralize our operation, making it more sustainable and certainly more ethical for the animals, because they get to stay in the paddock and we take the system to them and not the other way around. So they're the happiest animals in the world. So until then, I hope you learned a little bit about milking machines, and I wish you a happy hump day. See you next time. And if you like it, please hit that follow button. Thanks, guys.